Welcome to The Explainer. Look, if you own a home here in San Diego, you already know your plumbing system works quietly behind the scenes. It does its job perfectly, right up until it totally doesn't. And let's be honest, when it fails, it always picks the absolute worst time, like 2 a.m. or right in the middle of a holiday weekend. Today, we're going to put a stop to taking those pipes for granted. We're breaking down exactly how proactive care protects your home's most vital infrastructure. Clear, specific, and no fluff.
Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll be covering 1. The true cost of neglect, 2. San Diego's hidden enemy, 3. Protecting the supply lines, 4. Defending the drain system, and finally, 5. Your master schedule. By the end of our time together, you'll see exactly how a little upfront care protects both your property value and your wallet.
All right, Section 1, the true cost of neglect. We're jumping right in with the financial stakes.
Okay, let's dive into this. Most of us, we just don't think about our plumbing until it's a complete disaster. And man, the cost difference is just staggering. A standard annual preventative maintenance plan is going to run you between $300 and $600. But if you wait for that emergency, a burst pipe or a totally backed up sewer, that average repair immediately balloons to anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000. And honestly, that doesn't even factor in the potential $10,000 or more in secondary water damage to your drywall and floors.
And that right there perfectly illustrates the incredible long-term ROI of preventative care. The difference between a system that starts falling apart at 10 years and one that hums along for 50-plus years, it almost always comes down to maintenance. Take copper pipes, for example. They have a typical lifespan of over half a century, but only if they are properly cared for. Maintenance isn't just a sunk cost, it's literally an insurance policy on your home's longevity.
Moving on to Section 2, San Diego's hidden enemy. Let's talk about the localized antagonist that is secretly attacking your pipes right this minute.
So what exactly is this enemy? Well, San Diego's water supply has an unusually high mineral content, specifically calcium and magnesium ions. You probably just know it as hard water. Over time, these minerals stubbornly build up on your pipe walls, inside your water heater, and on your appliance hoses. If you've ever noticed that tactile, crusty white buildup on your faucet aerators or your shower heads, yeah, you are looking right at hard water in action. You can't see it inside your pipes, but it's in there, slowly choking your water flow and stressing out the whole system. The really crucial point here is how this hits your expensive appliances. That hard water mineral scale, it doesn't just look gross, it literally steals 30 to 40% of the lifespan of a water heater compared to what you'd get in a soft water region. It just settles at the bottom of the tank, forces the unit to work way harder to heat the water, and drastically tanks its efficiency. So, how do we actually fight this? We preemptively neutralize it right where the water enters your home. Installing a whole home water softener or a sediment filter takes an initial investment of about $1,500 to $3,000, but that investment absolutely pays for itself by extending the life of every single water-using appliance you own and slashing your ongoing maintenance costs. It's a real game changer.
All right, Section 3, protecting the supply lines. We're shifting from the hard water issue to the actual pressurized pipes bringing fresh water into your house.
These freshwater supply lines are operating under pressure 24/7, and there are critical pressure zones you really need to be aware of. The safe zone, your sweet spot, is right in the middle between 40 and 60 psi. If your pressure is creeping up into that high zone, anything above 80 psi, it is severely stressing your pipes. It's basically high blood pressure for your house. On the flip side, if it drops into the low zone below 30 psi, that is a massive red flag suggesting you've got a hidden leak somewhere. Testing this takes just one simple service call, and adjusting a regulator protects the entire property.
Now, for those of you living in older homes, listen up. This is absolutely crucial. If your home was built before 1980, there's a good chance you have galvanized steel pipes. The real danger here is that these pipes corrode invisibly, from the inside out. Everything seems totally fine until one day, boom, brown water pours out of your tap, and by then, the corrosion is already dangerously advanced. Getting a professional water quality and pipe check is essential for older properties.
Then there is your water heater. It's one of the few plumbing appliances that absolutely begs for annual care. To fight that sediment buildup we just talked about, you need an annual tank flush, or if you have a modern tankless unit, an annual descaling. This simple maintenance task usually costs between $150 and $300. But here's the kicker. It pays for itself in energy savings in just a year or two and can potentially add 5 full years to the tank's life.
Section 4, Defending the Drain System. So what happens to the water once you're done with it? We're pivoting now to the gravity-fed side of your plumbing.
The thing about drains is they accumulate buildup really slowly,
often with zero obvious symptoms at first. You might just notice a slightly slow drain, maybe a weird odor, or a faint gurgling sound. Now, when you hear those gurgles, proactive hydrojetting and drain cleaning will run you about $200 to $400, but if you wait until the sink flat out won't drain, or worse, sewage actually backs up into your tub, now you're looking at an emergency clog repair that's going to cost $600 to $1,200. Proactivity literally saves you from a nightmare scenario.
And that brings us to what is easily the most ignored pipe in your entire house, the sewer line. It's buried deep under your yard, carrying wastewater out to the municipal system, just running invisibly for decades. Homeowners rarely even think about it until tree roots intrude, cracks develop from shifting soil, or thick grease completely blocks the line.
But the solution to this huge blind spot is incredibly simple: a camera inspection. There is absolutely no digging involved. A professional just feeds a high-definition camera down the line so you can see exactly what's happening. It only takes 1 to 2 hours, costs around $300 to $600, and finding those pesky roots early allows you to schedule a trenchless repair on your own terms. Way better than dealing with a backed-up bathroom on Thanksgiving, right? We highly recommend doing this every 3 to 5 years or annually if you've got large trees near the line.
Also, we can't forget the fixtures and connection points. Fixing a minor leaky shutoff valve under the sink or just replacing a worn washer on a constantly running toilet might only cost you $50 to $150. But stopping those slow, silent leaks prevents massive structural water damage to your floors and drywall over time.
Finally, Section 5, your maintenance master schedule. Let's bring all this together into a highly practical, actionable checklist.
Here's exactly what tasks you should categorize and prioritize. On an annual basis, you want to flush that water heater, check under sinks for any visible leaks, and test your water pressure. Every 2 to 3 years, schedule a full professional inspection and routine drain cleaning if you're getting slow flow. And every 3 to 5 years, get that sewer camera down the line and check your pressure regulator. This is basically your ultimate plumbing playbook.
Look, if you haven't had a professional look at your system in the last 2 years, you really need a baseline health check. A comprehensive inspection takes just an hour or two, costs between $150 and $300, and crucially, it gives you a prioritized action list. It maps out exactly what needs attention right now and what can safely wait.
So I'll leave you with this final vital thought. When was the last time you checked what's actually happening beneath your yard and behind your walls? Your home is likely your biggest investment, and its plumbing is literally its circulatory system. Don't wait for a wildly expensive, highly stressful emergency to force your hand. Take control of your home's hidden ROI today. Thanks for joining us on this explainer, and we will see you next time.